like Ling, yes, even though it's a really hot pick, maybe not first pickable on the blue side because teams will be able to answer it real quickly.
I mean, like, to be fair, we got to put a lot into consideration because the Hilda was trying to stop the Ling. Because, again, honestly, the Ling looked okay.
Mhm.
The Ling looked okay. It's just that I
Yes.
think Chibi doesn't have enough reps just yet to really see how much damage he can deal.
To
And,
really know the hero.
yeah, so I kind of feel like with more reps because the Hilda really stopped the farming early game. Not really in the later stage of the game was very annoying, dropping Ling from the wall. So that's something to consider. Yi Shin, we saw the Ling kill the Yi Shin quite a few times. 3 times. All of it, the Ling was involved. So I kind of feel like it's still that Ling is very strong. It's just that Chibi doesn't have enough reps just yet.
Then we also have to consider that Chibi was up against the double marksman comp.
Yeah.
So it's not like he could get all the targets.
True.
Both of them will be hitting him, and most likely he'll always just get one.
The only really juicy target from that composition was that gift, but Clay rarely showed himself on the map, right? So
Yeah, man.
very just credit to Clay again. But now, second game, they switch sides. RQ will ban the Valentina, so their approach, what is going to be their approach here? It seems like it's still very unclear.
Maybe he still wants the Eve or the Kadita.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah,
got
they
it,
want the Kadena now, perhaps.
Maybe the Kaja, if they feel like it's still first pickable. But then I don't know. Eve just really feels like the more hot priority here. And Clay's coming off of an MVP performance, and usually that's like a pro player mentality, right? Oh, you're an MVP here, and it's a top pick that you're using. Yeah, go ahead, pick it up.
Honestly, if the Kaja was open, maybe they would take the Kaja because Chipoy, out of all the heroes he's been using in SPS so far, he looks the most comfortable on the Kaja.
Yeah, he can be aggressive, he can get those pickoffs, and RRQ just seemed to understand how to play with Chipoy well when he is playing the Kaja. So Kaja and Eve, really great first picks here, options for RRQ, and then just typical drafting that we've seen in the previous months. Just pick up the next best picks that are open on the table for Homeboys. No Joy ban yet though.
There
Oh,
you
there we
go.
go. It's like a summon. I willed it into existence. Manifested.
Joy and Arlen will be banned out from the red side here, homeboys. RQ here is still just a testing the waters here. Sure, Fanny ban quite prio here. What I was trying to say is again with the Kaja pick, right? Chipoy, you're right, Lafel, you touched on it. He likes to use the Kaja on a quantum charge though. He really wants to maximize the basic attack and to increase his movement speed. That is very smart, but very hard to pull off.
Invades. I think RQ is gonna be going for some. They might be opening it up for a potential assassin pickup again in the jungle. Because yeah, you usually ban the Fanny, it's respect, and then at the same time protect your marksman. But then when you think about it, it's also if it's an assassin and a Fanny can honestly just burst down the opposing assassin. So yeah. Oh, and Homeboys read it. It's gonna be the Eve ban. Might be a Kaja first pick, maybe Fredrin for Banana again.
Are they prioing here?
I think Kaja's the safest.
Yeah, it
Right?
is.
Kaja's the safest because we saw Warlord on the Kadita mixed. I would say it's mixed because there were a lot of times where he went for it, didn't work well.
Yeah.
But picking out a Fredrin.
Yeah. Oh, that might be a core idea that RQ is banking on. If they're gonna be playing a lineup that has like an assassin or a marksman in the jungle along with a marksman in the gold lane, at least you have a really solid XP laner who can just hold the front line. So that might be one of the things that they're holding on to as their draft identity in this new patch meta.
Perhaps that might be the case, right? I mean, somehow it still affects your mixed feelings, right? For Drink Jungle.
At this
you like
point,
it?
I think there's no more utility jungler.
Okay.
At this
Yeah.
point, I think it is going to be a
EXP.
Fredrin EXP. And this
Ling
time they're picking up
and
the Angela.
Esmeralda is up
Yeah.
for grabs now.
Yeah, that's the thing actually. But then that might be a bait here for from Homeboys. Because if they go ahead and pick up the Esmeralda now,
This is too cheeky.
yeah, it's a bit
I was
too
talking about the Sun, but what about the Dyroth?
Dyroth, yeah.
It would do well against the Fredrin as well.
yeah. The burst should be good. For Sapat, non Homeboys, yeah.
Between Sapat and Anip, I would definitely say Sapat.
Sapat,
But
yeah.
Who knows? Who really knows, right?
never know.
Dyrov, Rome. Dyrov,
Angela Gold Lane.
EXP.
Oh, yeah. Maybe most likely for Sepat. I don't see that Tyrell going anywhere else.
Yeah.
Esmeralda,
Esmeralda
Insta
right
pick,
away.
and Faramis.
Dyroth. Oh, this has to be a Dyroth then if that's the case.
Actually,
oh wait, no, because it's a gold lane Esme.
Could I feel like not a lot of catch here wouldn't be bad for a Claude as well.
Right now. Oh yeah.
And then
They're
just
up
ban out
against
Kaja, ban out all of the rovers. Ban out Kaja, ban out Kufra. Chipu has used the Cho not to great success, so
They can keep that open.
honestly, Carry is too cute because I think Carry can do well-ish, but I think it's just going to be way too tanky for the Carry. Leslie, though.
I like the carry. Oh,
What's going on?
Oh, is this Aldous
What's
gold?
Going on?
Wow.
Or
this
Aldous
is-
mid?
What's going on?
Aldous mid for the first rotations, right? Because the 4 minions stack up in the mid lane.
Yeah. This is going to be a really greedy lineup on the side of Homeboys, though. And there's
I
so
don't
many
know.
shields for the Esmeralda to just
take,
take. Yeah.
Oh my god, this is crazy. What is going on, homeboys?
I'm sure.
Aldous EXP or gold?
Does it matter?
Does it- oh my god.
I feel like, call me crazy, maybe gold.
Whoa, yeah.
Gold probably is
Because the
gonna be
fact that
play.
you have the Ling, you don't necessarily need a marksman,
Mhm.
right? Just everyone dive your body in as distractions, and then Ling just goes in.
Throw bodies. I like it. Oh, but then this puts so much pressure on the XP lane of Homeboys because he's gonna have to be like the tank in a way.
Or just another distraction. What about a Vendetta?
I don't see enough pieces yet from the side of RRQ, from RRQ yet for Homeboys to even consider the
Let's
benefit
see, let's see.
Bit too greedy for
Options,
my taste.
options. Paquito, Ruby, Lapu Lapu. What? Like again, we already talked about the Dyrov, but what if it's not the Dyrov? What else? Because so far against this three tanky men, women, and necromancer, I think the Dyrov will be pretty okay.
It's I got a hero, but it's it counters. It will
Sure,
counter.
sure.
It's a glue, but going up against a Faramis.
Actually, I want to
No,
touch on
up
it just
against
a little
Fireman,
bit.
no.
We've seen the glue going up against the Faramis. Glue split. Faramis used the Ghost Boosters.
Yeah, and everything.
Right, we don't see that interaction anymore. Was it patched? Right? Like I don't know. Maybe I just didn't catch it, but
We still saw it yesterday.
no. I saw the match because I was hosting that one. We were all there. Usually you would see a big burst of damage.
Uh-huh.
This time, not anymore.
Not even a small burst of damage. I saw no damage. And the Faramis was building Clock Lightning and Glowing Wand.
Oh, yeah, so the pure damage
Yeah.
type of Theramis.
But still, it doesn't happen anymore. I don't know.
Okay, that's something we have to watch out for then.
Yeah.
If ever we see Theramis and Glue go up against each other, okay, that's something to consider. If the Glue shows up here, Homeboys probably know something we don't.
But if they
Never.
want to go the conventional way and pick up a marksman here, right? Perhaps the Claude. You mentioned the Claude Lafelle. I really like it. It can add more combinations towards the Angela, not just the Ling Angela, perhaps a Claude Angela. But they will secure a hero that can lock
So
and
Angela mid.
suppress. Angela,
Angela mid.
roll.
Mid.
Oh, Angela mid, you're right.
Yeah. It's Kaja that's going to be roaming.
Or Kaja mid, like
Oh, yeah, they're interchangeable
because
weirdly enough.
Starlium Scythe could be good on the Kaja.
Damage.
I prefer Kaja just really living up to his strength and utility. They have enough damage
Yeah.
for me.
I mean, it's not like Angela will build tank anyway, so might as well just put Angela mid, right? So yeah. This is interesting because it's really not showing Homeboys' draft.
Yeah.
It's really not.
We don't know their XP laner yet. It's really gonna be tanky.
Oh, Hilda again, though.
Ranger!
On top of the Aldous. That's ballsy.
It is.
Marksman, I mean, We fought against the Granger just now
True.
in the jungle.
Yeah.
Let me just say, I was one-shotted by a basic attack.
The final bullet.
I don't
basic
even
attack.
think it's the final blow.
Oh no.
My God.
Oh
One
no.
basic attack, I was one-shotted.
Yeah, and this is a draft set up for that Granger. We're seeing 1-3-1 returning as a viable strategy, not just from time to time, but probably most of the time. Turning back the clock while also including in some of the learnings and the developments from the previous patch and the previous meta we've had. So interesting. Super tanky XP laner. I don't know anymore. Oh, it's a Dyroth. Hey!
We called it. We called it.
You guys called it. I didn't want to believe it, but you guys called it. You guys were right.
Okay. You know what? Remar, before the game would start, you were talking about fight. This is a fighting composition.
Yep. I'm excited.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Technically 5 fighters.
Fighters.
The only marksman we have here is in the jungle. I want homeboys to win just so that we can prolong this slugfest.
Series.
Yeah. It's gonna be good. This is gonna be good. I like it. I like it. Let's
I
go. Let's
can't
go.
wait.
You know what else is good?
What?
The casters.
Gideon, I can't lie to you. These drafts by these two teams look like both a throwback to 2021 and a ranked game I played last night.
Yeah, I don't know. I can understand the sentiment for sure. The Granger looks real fun to play in this type of composition, but man, what is Homeboys thinking?
Both of them. Well, to be fair, RRQ only really turned this way to answer what Homeboys were presenting, but just the same, they were one of the few teams to actually bring back the 1-3-1 here in SPS post-patch. Let's get into it. Persic and the gang starting off with the orange, and it's a mirrored start for Chibi and his XP laner. Something to note here. Were you expecting for Sepa to do this?
No.
Is this a dead lane we were waiting for? That Dyroth? Oh wait, see, look, he's about to get punished.
Yep, instantly ganked as he tries to go for the leash. He needs to be able to heal as much as he possibly can. He's going to get the shred on towards Banana Sub, but Clay is going to make sure that he goes down as soon as possible. And that's what you want to see, right? They sacrificed the mid lane for this just to cheese out strong side.
Oh wow, sacrificing the mid is an understatement. They up and left it, man. For a full minute, those waves have been fighting each other and only each other. Both mid laners are absentee mid laners. Dear Lord. Warlord, if there was a mid-Angela, see, like, all of these things are just making sense to me now.
I mean, what can you really do, right? At least with Warlord, he's able to keep Suboy in check and keep Chibi healthy. Not like the previous game where Chibi was getting constantly harassed the entire game, right? But they're trying to play for Strong Side, and Strong Side is this winning Dyroth lane. As they get on top of Suboy, he's going to get on top of Chibi, but Clay, he's running out of mana very, very fast, and considering that he's only taking the magic, lethal ignition, he's not going to be able to get as much mana back.
Which is, I think, going to slowly pay off in the late game, or the mid, after he picks up a few items. Checking out the emblems here. Yes, indeed, folks, that is the base emblem, the common emblem on the Angela and the Aldous, mid and gold. While on Sin here, the gold lane Esmeralda, he's rocking the support emblem, which is, I think, because of both the healing and the movement speed, which is a throwback to the old Esme pre-patch. Anyways, you put Avarice on that.
Yeah,
Right? So
yeah.
let's see. RRQ clearly in the lead now, approaching 1,000 gold ahead 2 minutes in, but this is less devastating than I thought it would be for Homeboys.
I agree for sure. And more importantly, right, looking at the emblem setup for Supbot especially, like, he is trying to sustain. He knows he can win this lane without any help whatsoever, but once you start getting into these bigger influencing side laners, or in this case, the mid lane, that's when he's going to have a lot of troubles and team fights. So it's interesting to see. Now, let's see who's going to get this first entire lord. It falls into the hands of RRQ, who secures the turtle, as we do see the heart guard and the call altar being popped respectively. Chibi should not be able to get out of this. He ends up going down to C4 regardless of that heart guard. And Barbosa, unfortunately, can't do too much.
You see how Warlord just preemptively jumped out, canceled the Hargers, like, yeah, this is a sinking ship. I'm out of here. And that's even before Sin joined the fight. There were so many shields being dropped there in that engagement. In, what, under 3 minutes alone. And now Sin threatening the purple here. Oh, I think that was a retry. Oh, this win. It could be a big fight.
And they're looking to try and punish Sin in the meantime, and they get just that with the help of Barbosa's Divine Judgment, holding him until the very end here. GB needs the power farm, but Sepoy's not going to let him do it for free. In the meantime, Anip, he's just going to farm his stacks all day, right? As long as they stay away from the gold lane, he's just doing his thing.
All right, back-to-back good news for Homeboys. They got the punish. Oh, wait, Chibi.
He's fine. He's fine.
All right, yep. Sonata wasn't off cooldown. Anyways, Retri also wasn't off cooldown earlier, so he didn't need to use it despite that little scuffle in his purple buff pit. He didn't need to use Retri. And second bit of good news, red letter day for Homeboys, Anip has been left untouched. Well, save for the lane duel against Sin, right? Who is rocking a Swift and Tenacity. Interesting. He knows that there's going to be big fights, and I think if anyone's going to be building penetration from Homeboys, it's really just Chibi and Sepat, who's very far from this engagement altogether.
Yeah, and Sepat will naturally get the items. He doesn't need the emblems that helped him out in this case. Barbosa with the Divine Judgment towards Banana's side while Sepoy was getting right on top of the right targets. Hard guard has been popped. Sepat manages to survive with his flicker call. Altar was popped in response to ensure that nobody dies from the side of RRQ, completely shutting out the Homeboys.
And we're going to see here exactly how RRQ finds their stranglehold, how they find their footing, and then eventually punish. Oh, look at Barbosa. He wants to get out of here. There's no Divine Judgment here. And look at the health on RRQ. They understand that there's not enough damage from Homeboys when they're not ready quite yet. Between Anip and Barbosa, yeah, they can just force the issue. Banana can just stand there like a total Chad. And yeah, look at this, how difficult it is. Oh, just dodging that Abysm Strike all this while. Free turtle for RRQ.
Can't do anything about it. It's a tough position to be in, right? When you don't have this much control over your mid lane, your side lanes aren't doing well, and more importantly, your strong side is getting heavily punished in the earlier stages of the game, which is supposed to be their strongest suit. So Banana, as long as he keeps sandbagging this lane, it's going to be fine. And here comes Chibi and Barbosa to try to make sure and try to break the stalemate.
Oh, it's a 4v2 down there. Effectively a 1 since it's just Cheapui. Banana needs to heal up. They spot out Clay!
Divine Judgment looks good on towards Clay's side. GB secures the kill before the call Altar actually pops with the passive. Make sure that Clay comes back instantly and now is running towards the mid lane.
Yep, and all this while top lane, it's a 1v1. It's at Aldous versus Esmeralda, which up until the ultra late, I'd give to the Esmeralda 9 times out of 10, right? Zin is just calling the shots. He gets what he wants, and right now he's trapped between... Oh, a rock and a hard place. 4v3!
Sepat instantly goes down, knowing that his life is over. Barbosa sticking around for a little too long. Forced to get on out of there. The bonk is good, and the kill from Sin is even better as bottom side gets attacked by GBN as well as Warlord trying to kill Sepoy for his transgressions against Jungle Law.
What?
But the damage forcing out the Blade of Tempest. GB tries to go for it. Warlord is trying his absolute best. GB will secure this kill, but oh, the hard guard saves his life. Wow! All this for a roam, by the way.
I love it. I love it. This is the kind of synergy you expect, but wait. Chibi about to get punished. Turret still goes down anyways. One of the most unfortunate ways to pause, but just the same, we need to make sure our athletes get the best competitive experience and are able to put on a good show for us. So this gives us time to kind of breathe and understand what's going on. Yes, all that for a potential push, I get it, and a roamer, so they do get the punish onto Cheapui. But just the same, again, this isn't the usual. It's Warlord on a mid Angela. So if it comes down to it, Gideon, you have to understand, if it comes down to it, Homeboys have trash wave clear. I have to say it. They have trash wave clear.
It's bad. It's abysmal. Like, it's really difficult to actually recover from that kind of architectural damage in this particular space or even situation, because we're not even taking the point the fact that Sin, you mentioned it, the ultra late game is where he's going to really shine, but it really depends on what he's going to build, and that's why I'm keeping an eye out for. He did take the support emblems. He wants to get that extra regeneration, healing effect to keep himself alive every time he pops that shield. But so far, with the way that he's building, and after the last time we saw him build Esmeralda, he goes for the Starlium Scythe and then goes into the Holy Crystal rather than the traditional, oh, I'm just gonna go full tank, have my Enchanted Talisman and finish it off with an Ice Queen's Wand to chase down anybody and be unkillable.
Yep, which is at least some semblance of structure because, again, Homeboy just turned the metagame on its head. Right now, Chibi gets away, loses his on the way out. What a punish, and now, oh no, it's Anip.
Yep, he cannot die here. He needs all the uptime possible to be farming consistently wherever he can get it. And if he moves towards bot side, that's really going to affect Turtle. So Anip, he'll eventually... Wait, no, Homeboys. They've shifted their attention towards Sin's side. They know that he's isolated and he can't deal with Subbot right now as he chases him. The Abysm Strike has already been used as well. They're going to set up this dive while bot side tier 1 finally falls. Turtle should get soloed, but the setup is already here. Barbosa doesn't want to jump further than this. It's 2v3 up top side of the map. They can clear the waves just in time with Fredrin walking up the river as Homeboys give it up.
Yep. If anything, RRQ will walk away with another turtle, 100% going over to them. Very little contest. You're right. It's Zin who's the weak side right now. He loses to Barbosa and he loses to Sepat. And if Warlord and Chibi find him and he's the only member there, it's dangerous. But now, oh, quick! Big fight up top!
And as well, the hard guard put on towards Subbot side. Blade Tempest is going to help secure this kill on towards him. Chain's Fate is able to join the fight now with Aldis in the middle of all three. They're low. GB manages to get back out, but Warlord stranded by himself, falling towards Sin, achieving the starting assignment. Even Anip ends up dying here. A disaster for the Homeboys.
Very reminiscent of Game 1, where Fursic was just power farming and eventually joining these big fights. This is a colossal turn for Fursic and RRQ. Look at this young man, sitting at 3-0-2, rocking his Blade of Despair and Hunter Strike on his way to the Endless Battle. This is the most spread out Endless Battle I've ever seen. You know that those three items eventually build up to one, right?
Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And these are not like cost-efficient items like a War Axe or even Corrosive Scythe in this case. That really reflects his 2.25k lead.
Huge.
So far. GB getting attacked by Sipui once again, being super annoying. Clay is nearby to bail him out of any situation, but look at top side, right? We see the Granger and as well as Banana starting things off. Can Hanik get himself out of here? And he is going to use the Chain's Fate, but really doesn't matter. First Six is just so far ahead.
Yep, takeoff and projectile speed on his ult. It's not fast enough. And again, he had to click either Sin or Cheapway for that to actually matter, for him to get away. But the damage is so real. The damage is just all there for Fursic, who is rocking, again, the Assassin Emblem. And check this, Season Hunter. He's not rocking penetration, he's buying penetration. But he has Season Hunter and Agility.
Interesting.
He's investing in the early to mid so he gets to late faster.
I get it. All right. So at least with Season Hunter, there's something there, right? And for the rest of the team, making their way down towards bot side, again, they have to start sticking together. It's really tough when you have no lane pressure. Sin is going to start walking up now fearlessly with his items complete. Barbosa getting chunked out, especially when the Falling Star Moon has been committed to. They could look to turn this around, but again, not a very good position that Subbot is in. He sees First Six, but they can't even do anything to protect that purple buff, and they angle them out.
All right, so good news for Homeboys is they're slowly building up, right? The fact that RRQ aren't going, I'd say, what, 200 miles per hour here? They're going 150 for sure. They're very fast. They're taking objectives. But just the same, they're not going for a kill every minute. They're not going for a kill every time they see somebody. So that means Homeboy can actually build up.
Oh,
with the jump!
Falling Star Moon is good. They lock him down, and Clay ensures the kill. And they get him unstoppable, at least with the Death Sonata on towards Warlord's side. They can't do anything. The Blade of Tempest even being utilized, but Banana refuses to let him go. Kill going over to Clay once again. Big damage on the mid inhibitor. They can take this for free, and especially since they have that Lord pushing and Anip nowhere to be found, there's nothing they can do about this. Homeboys continue to watch as their real estate gets taken away. Barbosa flickers for First Six, gets the Divine Judgment, but it does not matter. Homeboys drops the game, and RRQ is able to sweep them under the rug. 2-0. GG. Well played.
The King of Kings move on and live to see another day, making it on through with a chance of seeing the Challenge Finals in Jakarta. Man, I should have held my tongue, man. Number one, good news. Maybe Homeboys can actually survive this, because RRQ are taking it. Oh, wait. In a single moment, a snap all it took for RRQ to say, it's over, this is it.
I mean, I can't say much about it, right? Because Sin at the very end, the fact that he was ballsy enough to